Hi everyone, this is Arjuna here, a Professional High Priestess, and I have a quick channel message for you guys. This one is going to be really interesting and it's going to get deep. It's twofold. One is they have no power and it's by design. Two is that they are now trapped in the Panopticon, and I'm going to teach you guys what a Panopticon is. It's very interesting. And I remember when I was a high school teacher, I taught my students about the Panopticon and how, eventually when you're playing with social media or playing with the telephone or playing with surveillancing and things like that, that you will end up finding yourself in a situation where you don't know if you're the one watching or you're the one being watched, right? If you're the one doing the hunting, or if you're the one being the hunted, right? That's another thing about that Panopticon. Now, one of the things here with this, they have no power. You guys remember this movie, The Prince of Egypt? I put that on the cover photo. And in the cover photo is Moses, right? And there's a scene in the movie where he goes to talk. This is a biblical story anyways, but remember the movie, The Prince of Egypt. And in the movie, he went to go speak to the Pharaoh and was like, God gave me a message. Thank you so much for the super chat. And God said, if you don't stop this and if you don't do this, then this is going to happen. And the Pharaoh was very arrogant, because by that point in time within the Egyptian dynasty, there had been a lot of infiltration from different outside cultures. The Assyrians, Greek, Rome, etc. So when we're even talking about the Egyptian culture and the Kemetic dynasty, it didn't start in terms of enslaving the Israelites. No, it was later down the road when certain pharaohs and dynasties came into power that were enacting all that low vibrational bullshit. So in this instance, he went to go talk to the Pharaoh like, hey, you know what? God said, let our people go, stop this craziness. And the Pharaoh was like, no, I got all the power in the world. I got magicians and shit like that. And okay, Moses like, all right, so you got magicians. And then they started to go back and forth. And the magicians were like, okay, turning the pole into a snake or turning water into blood and things like that. And Moses like, I have the same exact power, but my power is from the power of God. I can do the same exact thing. But you guys remember in the scene, eventually the magicians can no longer do what? They can no longer cast spells. Their power was gone. Yeah. A lot of these karmics are coming to realize that whatever power that they had, that they thought that they had to gang stalk, to do spell work on you, to lie on you, whatever that they were doing, they felt like they had some power because they're powerless in their own life and they want to have power over someone who's actually more powerful than them. They're coming to the realization that that power is fucking gone and that they power in a false idol. And I'm going to bring again, where's my book at? In the Bhagavad Gita. And it says here again, look at this. Men of small intelligence worship the demigods, and their fruits are limited and temporary. Those who worship the demigods go to the planets of the demigods, but my devotees ultimately reach my supreme planet, which is even outside of the solar system. One of the things about the Bhagavad Gita and the Hindu pantheon is they talk a lot about the solar system, and when you get to higher levels of transcendent, how you transcend the 7 chakras and the 7 planets, and you start going into higher solar systems where you get to transcend the universe, which is what they would call nirvana. You don't want to do all that really with the energy that we're in, because that's how you get Kundalini syndrome, aka schizophrenia. But that's what they're really talking about. These karmics worship demigods. And it even says here in text 22, endowed with such a faith, he endeavors to worship a particular demigod and obtain his desires. But in all actuality, these benefits are bestowed by me alone. And we've been talking about this, how these karmics feel like they have power because they're playing with the devil, not realizing that the Most High has the ultimate power, has the last say in everything. And these karmics are about to learn real quickly that they don't have no power. They're going to be like the Pharaoh, looking stupid with all your crops dying, the Israelites being freed, your water turning into blood, pestilence, lotus infestations. They're going to learn very, very soon because the power of God is going to step in. But you want to know another thing here too? You guys want to know something else as well? The Most High was like, this was all by design. Because remember Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine watching, we are about to be a part of the wave. Remember that? Just catch the wave. Don't be afraid of loving me. Don't be afraid of loving the wave. Don't be afraid of loving peace. Don't be afraid of, not tapping into demonic energy. By now we know the wave, it's on its way to be. You guys, you remember that song that I posted? The wave is on its way to be. These karmics don't even realize that you're about to be a part of the wave. You're going to be enjoying. You're going to be having fun, enjoying the fruits of your labor, enjoying your children, enjoying your relationship, enjoying your healing. While these karmics are going to be a part of the war because of what they were doing. Because remember, they worship demigods. So they get to go play in the realm of the demigods, aka falling principalities. Principalities are about to implode. But where are you about to be? You're about to be in the wave, going to a whole nother solar system and dimension, transcending serious symbolics and finding more information and getting more intuitive downloads and whatnot. Some things you can't even articulate into language. They can only be felt and understood intuitively. And hopefully, by the grace of the Most High, they'll find a way to articulate this in words. That's how beautiful these images and messages you guys are going to be getting. While these karmics are going to be a part of the wave, because they're going to be like the magician and the pharaoh, no power. And the funny thing is, with the wave and the war information analogy, like I said, some of these karmics, they were waging war on you. They were doing this and doing that. Now realizing that they were going to actually have to fight in a war that they waged on their own self, on their own bloodline. Imagine going after somebody doing A, B, C, and D, just wasting your power, losing your resources, losing your clout, becoming susceptible to your enemies now, get on your head, and you have to fight a war against a principality that you called upon yourself because of what you were doing. You see? Some of these karmics don't even know what's coming around the corner. They're too busy bothering you. Some of them don't even know that they're going to be going toe-to-toe with the feds. Save your small work for that shit. Some of them don't even know they're going to be going toe-to-toe with their own families or their quote-unquote friends they are playing games with against you. Some of them don't even know that they're going to be going toe-to-toe with the same karmic partners they chose you out over. But trust me, they're focusing on you, though, because that's where it's the quote-unquote low-hanging fruit that they feel. Not knowing that they're actually climbing to the top of the tree just to fuck with you when they're about to fall all the way down. They didn't even get the fruit that they were looking for. Very interesting information. Part 2, these karmics are in the Panopticon. What is a Panopticon? Now, a Panopticon is basically a physical structure. And the way that they used to build these structures, it was basically like a mindfuck torture mechanism, right? And it was created by Jeremy Bentham. Now, those of you who know about Jeremy Bentham, he started the British Secret Service, and they were involved in all kinds of occult fuckery and rituals with the Queen of England, even connected to the United States and the UN, etc., which what we now call the UN. They had a different group before that started in the UK. It was like it's the UK version of the UN, right? So with this British Secret Service, Jeremy Bentham, he was a very sick individual. And you want to know something? His body is actually mummified and kept in a glass case in a bar somewhere in London. Yeah, Jeremy Bentham was the one that created, and he was very much well known for dealing with sex rituals, Knights Templar fuckery, all that stuff. He was very much known for all of that. He was the one that built the Panopticon because they knew how to create different structures to mind fuck people. We don't need to do no spells. All we need to do is create a certain condition that you can fuck yourself. That's what these karmics did to themselves. They thought they were creating the Panopticon for you, that they were surrounding you, and you don't know who's watching, and and yeah, we're mind fucking this person, and they're gonna lose their mind, they're gonna go crazy. Not realizing that they're now in the middle of the Panopticon. They don't know if they're the one watching or the one being watched, you see? They don't know if they're the one hunting or the one being hunted, you see? And it's all because of the fuckery that they were getting into at the same time that they're losing their power and they're going to be going toe-to-toe with other principalities that they called upon themselves. Let's look into this. Because I have a feeling that this is going to get deep. My ancestor said use Egyptian tarot. Okay, let's see what we got over here. Very much so. It's about to go down. Let's see what we have here. Dear bright and loving ancestors, what messages do you have? These karmics are now in the Panopticon? Yeah. Pharaoh and the magicians, that's who they are. There's a limitation to their power. These karmics didn't think that. They didn't think that there's a limitation to their power. Because some of these karmics, I'm telling you, they're so mentally ill. They talk about God and shit like that. And they put witchcraft and the devil and da-da-da-da-da. They really feel like witchcraft is the end-all be-all. It's like this level of nihilism, but it's also that suicide ideation. They're missing critical thought patterns and functionings in their brain that would allow them to understand that there's a limitation to this witchcraft. Because remember, all of that shit is under the dominion of the Most High. You just heard what Krishna said. Those who have less intelligence worship demigods, but those who worship me, they get access to the highest of the high, you see? These karmics were worshiping lesser gods and demigods, thinking that they have more power over you, but you were connected to the Most High. You have all power. Because remember, everything that the magician could do, Moses could do as well. Dear bright and loving ancestors, what messages do you have? These karmics are about to learn. Let me see here. I feel like I have a deck that's gonna blow something out of the water here for us today. Yeah, it's about time. Let's see. You guys have so many tarot decks. It's kind of but I mean, all you. I know a lot of y'all do. If you read tarot and stuff like that, you always have a bunch of decks, right? It's like jewelry, accessories. Okay. 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 All right, that's what we got. All right, we're gonna be using the Norn, and I'm also gonna be getting into this. Oh, look. I'm hella mad. That's how I knew I needed to bring this deck out, because look at the bottom of the deck. Ratatouille, rat pussy. You want to know what funny? One of the things here is some of these karmics really did not realize that, because also too, there's something else that I do want to show you guys that you're gonna be like, exactly, look at this. What consciousness that you take on is what the form that you're going to be in. But what you allow into your mind is what you are spiritually. Look at this. Look at this. You see how this man is ravenous and eating a bunch of meat? And then this is saying right here, it says right here, at the time of death, the consciousness created by the living being carries him to his next body. At the time of death, the consciousness created by the living being carries him to his next body. At the time of death, the consciousness of the living being carries him over into his next body. These karmics embody the consciousness of pigs. And you see how this man is transforming into a pig because of his gluttony and shit like that. These karmics wanted to embody the low vibrational thought patterns of rats, dogs, ducks, and pigs, but they wanted to come after the empress and the emperor. But you guys have to also understand that you are expressing higher archetypes. Your archetypes are no longer in the animal kingdom. You've transcended all of those archetypes. You're moving into, like I said, empress, emperor, hierophant, high priestess. So these karmics, their archetype is the rat, the dog, the rat, the dog, the pig, and the duck. And they thought that they were going to come after you. That's why they're sorely mistaken, because they didn't realize that they had a limitation of power. Sometimes, a lot of people who attack people spiritually, or they gang stalk, or they lie on you guys, it's because fundamentally they want to feel powerful playing in your energy. It's like there's a high that they get from like tampering with you, because they feel like that's how they can get their stripes. Right? It's like a type of cloud chasing, like spiritually or some shit like that. Like, if I can attack this person, no, it always reverses and backfires. But then they end up getting their ass whipped even more, because it's like, how dare you go after somebody who's in a higher reincarnation cycle than you, who has higher spiritual authority than you. These karmics are about to learn that they're ratatouille pussy. Some of these motherfuckers were surrounding them. We were talking about these masculines in these harems, and they thought with the pharaoh, the magician, they had all these different bitches. Yeah, she can gang stalk, and this one can do that, and that one knows how to lie, and this one knows how to do this, and this one knows how to do that, and all of them are fucking rats. All of them were drinking polyjuice potion to make it seem like they were the emperors. When the clock struck 12, they all turned into rats. I'm so happy I picked up this deck. What messages do you have? What messages do you have? Their power is limited. They are now in the Panopticon. What a sight to see. Well, look at the book of knowledge right here with the 10 of Pentacles, bloodline, DNA. These karmics don't have no knowledge. They have none. But what the funny thing is, their knowledge have limitations. Some of these karmics were going into old witches books and things like that to find shit to go throw at you, not realizing that a lot of those books and a lot of those practices are coded to trap low vibrational people. I told you guys that there's a powerful spiritual text from about the 1600s, and I'm not going to say the name. But this spiritual text, before I tap into anything, I read reviews and things like that from other people, and my guides always tell me what to read or what not to read. Because some of you guys have this type of consciousness too. When you start to read a certain spiritual text, it becomes a part of you, right? So, especially if you have certain placements. So these karmics were going into all these different things, not even knowing that they were cursing themselves. We wanted you to open up that book of shadows. We wanted you to open up that book that seemed innocent. It's actually a book of shadows. And you just wrote your name and your whole entire fucking bloodline name in it by opening it. And then also too, remember, some of these karmics, their bloodline is cursed from what their ancestors did in past lifetimes. So they're over here tampering with you. You're on a higher reincarnation cycle. And the ancestors are like, okay, does this bitch know that she's bound? She's binded from keys to the streets. That's why you have a lock and key over the book. They're banned. They have no knowledge. They have no knowledge of self. They don't really know what they're doing. They don't got keys to the streets. What messages do you have? These karmics and their time is limited. Their power has been limited. Their power has been eliminated. Yeah, and one thing that's going to end up happening, like I said, these karmics, they attracted a principality to them that is low vibrational, that's going to be dealing with them and handling them. And none of whatever the fuck that they were using is going to work, because like the pharaoh and his magicians, the most turn that shit off. They run out of steam. And some of these karmas have so much karma for tampering with you, but that was a part of the plan. The Most High's like, oh, you know what? They want to play with you. I'm gonna let them keep on playing with you. Don't fret. Don't worry about it. Just do your clearing path, do your reversals. You know how to do your meditations, all that stuff. Because what's gonna end up happening is they're gonna end up destroying themselves playing with you. They're gonna destroy all their spiritual power. All the covenant is gonna get dismantled. Or the individual attacking you, they're gonna lose everything: their money, their car, their whatever the fuck, their clout, their reputation, playing with you. And we need that because they're about to go into the war and they're gonna have no fucking shield and no fucking armor. You know what? Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine watching, this is some war tactic shit. And Uncle Fidel is with me right now. And he has a message for us, Fidel Castro. We have the same birthday. I don't agree with all his policies. But real talk, when it comes to that war strategy, Uncle Fidel is with the shit. We have the same birthday. He's a Libra. He's a Leo with the Libra moon too. But let's keep it hella real. That Bay of Pigs was fucking epic. And you know, Cuba's hella small. Cuba was able to defeat the United States Army when they were trying to come and invade Cuba. Go look it up. It's called the Bay of Pigs. But you guys remember something right here too, how, as I just brought that up. Remember in this book, what did I just show you? What consciousness that you're going to be taking on. But remember, Fidel Castro was a very powerful war strategist. Couldn't nobody see him though? Couldn't nobody see Cuba though? Let's just keep it all the way the fuck real though. Couldn't no one see Uncle Fidel when it really came to guerrilla warfare though, right? But the funny thing about these karmics, they didn't realize who you were playing with. A lot of you guys have ancestors or spiritual guys that got keys to the fucking streets. Keys to the streets all the way the fuck way. And these karmics were playing with you. Now they don't even know if they're in the Panopticon or if they're the one, if they're the hunter or they're the hunted. Now they don't know. Now they're looking around for where's the enemy. It couldn't be her. They're trying to figure out where it's going to come from. It's coming from within because you conjured it. No, right? No cap. Real talk. Go look up that Bay of Pigs. That shit is epic. Yeah. Uncle Fidel, we got the same birthday. What's up? What messages do you have? You said war strategy. Look, what messages do you have? They don't know if they're in the Panopticon. Their power has been eliminated. You got the moon right here. Look with the 8 of Cups right here. Yeah, but you want to know the thing about this moon? These karmics too, all their shit is getting exposed. They're having nightmares. Their secrets are coming out. Some of them are having to just be forced to retreat because they already know that if they keep on playing that they're about to get the death. But you want to know the funny thing is why I say that? Because the moon is in Scorpio right now. Exactly. A lot of these karmics are feeling this energy right now. They're getting that warning. Gemma, and they feel something coming. They sure the fuck do. But you want to know another thing here too? This full moon energy, this full moon is about to be in Sagittarius, the one coming up. Sagittarius was over the 9th house. There's going to be a lot of illumination in terms of the different ideologies and practices and shit like that people were following to get power. Because Sagittarius energy, when it's low vibing, it's the ways it's cloud chasing. 10 of Wands. It's burdens that willingly carry for status or something like that. Sagittarius energy is sometimes misuse and abuse of philosophy, cultures, knowledge systems, things like that. Because, Sagittarius is the truth seeker, it's the axis of teaching and learning with Gemini being its sister sign. So this full moon is going to be illuminating a lot of that for these karmics. I shouldn't have played with that. I shouldn't have tested that person. I should have been trying to earn my stripes with them. Now my moon is being illuminated and exposed. Everyone knows my secrets. I'm having mental illness. I'm having nightmares and shit like that. Look. I knew I should have pulled out this deck. Yeah, with the sun right here, the moon and the sun eclipsed. Totally eclipsed. Oh, they're getting exposed. Yeah. And this is what we were talking about too, with Krishna saying that when you deal with me, you get to transcend and go to higher systems, higher planets. Yeah, these karmics are going to get stuck in low vibrational, because even in this solar system, the sun is the highest. These karmics are getting stuck in Mars. They're getting stuck in Saturn. They're getting stuck in Pluto because of the shit that they were doing. What messages do you have? These karmics are in the Panopticon. They have no power. He said, I love it. Yes, let's get with it. Well, you at the whip. Exactly. Because the ancestors are about to come down and whip that ass for these karmics. They're getting harsh news. They're finding out that they're about to be, man, I'm going to tell you right now with this whip, and I don't want to trigger anybody. But we did talk about this in terms of how some of these karmics, because of the shit that they're doing with all this South Node and Scorpio and Sagittarius energy, as well as the Saturn transits and the North Node and things like that, a lot of these karmics are basically putting themselves in the position to receive the same type of oppression and trauma that their ancestors did through slavery, through the transatlantic slave trade, through the Trail of Tears, through the Irish potato famine, through the French wars, through the Mexican-American wars or whatnot. Whatever historical atrocity that their ancestors have suffered in, they're putting themselves in a position to experience that again with this whip right here. Some of these masculines and some of these karmic females are going to get themselves in a position where they're literally going to be dealing with some like real crazy ass like roots to the 20th power. Like it's like that movie that Jordan Peele made where they were taking African American people from the present time back in time to be slaves on a plantation, and people were fucking disappearing, shit like that, like some real crazy time traveling shit where they get sucked into a portal where they're experiencing all the trauma and chaos that their ancestors experienced, and that's how their ancestors are going to deal with them too. How dare you attack somebody like that? How dare you do some shit like that? How dare you? When we had an opportunity to change our DNA and our bloodline in this lifetime. Children of Evsheto, children of El Successful Rebellion. That's why their ancestors are like, this shit that I went through and I was trying to help you get out of it, I'm going to put you right up in it. That's how you're going to learn the power of healing. What messages do you have? They're in the Panopticon. These karmics are in the Panopticon, please. You got the well. No resources, though. Remember I talked about the resources are down because the well is all about deep resources. They have none. While you're going to be a part of the wave, they're going to be part of the war, and they have no arsenal, no nothing. No more botanicas. The practitioners are not fucking with them. They have no money for supplies or clearance or something like that. Yeah, it's done. And there's some of these karmics that are talking about, yeah, I'm booked and I'm busy. They're not booked. They're busy doing shit. They're booked and busy crying in bed, eating all day. Or dealing with the hell chaos and madness, or dealing with other shit that they conjured up because they were trying to play with you, dealing with the investigations, dealing with the backfire of magic and getting hella sick. They can't even do their work and shit like that because all the mental magic they try to put on you or get paid for to get on you has returned to them. Yeah, because they wanted to roll the dice and play a real tricky game. Now they fucking lost. What messages do you have? What is this? They don't know if they're in the, are they in the Panopticon? What is this? What messages do you have? They're in the Panopticon. They don't know if they're, wow, look at this with the compass. But you know, compass, it spins all the way left or right. These karmics have no compass. They don't know which way to go. They broke that mechanism down. Any spiritual guide or any ancestor that was with them, that's done. All they got is entities and demonic energies from the principality that they chose to align themselves with. Those are not spiritual guides or God or Jesus or whatever the fuck talking to these people or their ancestors. Those are demons that are part of the principality that's fucking running them, period. And they're about to find out. Yeah, this compass, tipsy-turvy, topsy-turvy. And all the signs in the zodiac. You got the tower right here behind that. And you got the snake. Yeah, basically. Some of these karmics want to go play, literally, remember, this keeps on coming out, the serpents. These karmics are part of these karmic females are part of the serpent principality doing snake rituals. We've been talking about this. Some of these karmics don't even realize by doing that, what they really did to their DNA and their bloodline. I don't think they really understand what the serpent really means on like a deeper fucking level. There's a really good book by Jeremy Narby, and it's called the DNA and the Serpent. And he was even talking about, because he basically went to go study in the Amazon rainforest with the indigenous people, taking ayahuasca and things like that. I'm going to put that book on the book club. I'm going to put the chapter on the book club for July. But in this book, he talks about how tobacco, you guys know that the ancestors used to use tobacco in ritual. Tobacco and serpents have a similar DNA strand. So this karmic was trying to sacrifice you or put you to the serpent principality, not knowing that while they were sacrificing, they were actually fucking themselves over because the serpent is likened to tobacco. So they were trying to sacrifice the serpent for negativity, but it was actually helping you out in the long run. This is so crazy, man. That's so crazy. And now they're about to be dealing with the tower or principality. Doesn't that look like the government to me? A government building, an institution, or some shit like that. But this is the tower card. They're about to be in a tower. You got double sixes here with the Six of Swords and the Six of Cups. A lot of confusion, a lot of mental illness, a lot of emotional confusion with air and water, with polarities. And I talked about this Panopticon. These karmics are in the middle, not knowing which way to go, not knowing how to get off, not knowing if they're being watched or if they're not being watched. And another thing here too, with all these zodiac signs around this compass, is the Jupiter, Saturn, Pluto conjunction. A lot of these karmics with the astrology, just the astrology, with Chiron and Aries and Saturn and Aquarius and the North Node and Gemini moving into Taurus and the South Node to Scorpio and Sag. These karmics didn't know what they were playing with. They're about to learn now though. Because the funny thing is that this, man, listen, this is Six of Swords. This is Saturn and Aquarius energy too. Let's get into this. I'm happy that I pulled out this deck. For those of you who are on Patreon, I'm going to be doing the spell work based on your astrological elements, like your elemental makeup, and then we'll be doing the how to activate a part of fortune as well in your birth chart. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to be on at 8:30 or 9 o'clock. Clarify the Ten of Pentacles. What's the Ten of Pentacles? You got the Four of Wands in reverse, exactly. And these karmics are dealing with lack of stability as well too. Remember, didn't I tell you that they're going to be losing everything all at once, losing their housing, losing the resources, all that type of shit. Or where they had a double decker, a bookshelf of altars of you and shit like that. This is about to implode and fall all the way the fuck off, because this is how the ancestors are going to be dealing with them. You are going to be getting everything that you're using against this person. They're going to be taking it away, all of it. And that's how the Most High is going to teach them. I'm the ultimate authority, not your witchcraft, not your gang stalking, not your lying, not none of that stuff. With some of this stuff too, some of these karmics didn't even realize that they ended up losing jobs, contracts, money, all that type of shit for trying to put with your name here. That's another thing that I'm seeing here as well. Getting fired, all that type of stuff. Even marriages getting broken up and all that type of stuff. Playing. Yeah, they don't know now. They don't know if they're the one doing the hunting or hunting, or if they don't know if they're the one hunting or being hunted with the devil and the wheel of fortune, because the tables have fucking turned. And these devils are no longer playing with these people. These karmics are no longer getting what they want. What's the eight of the moon? You got the Emperor energy right here. Ooh, but this is also too Fidel. This Fidel. Okay, that's what I'm saying. This Fidel right here, exposing these karmics, giving you these worst tactics and strategies in the dream state. Now these karmics are playing with you because you know how to just handle this fuckery, like just organically. Like I said, they don't even know like if they're the ones being hunted or if they were being hunted or they're the ones doing the hunting. Some of these karmics feel set up like, how the fuck did this happen? I was supposed to be attacking this person, belittling them, and shit like that. All of a sudden, I'm caught up in principalities and being oppressed and whipped and shit like that, dealing with snakes and dealing with towers. Well, that's what happens when you deal with the divine being. That's what that Panopticon is around. It goes like this. It's a tower, but it's round in the middle, right? That's how the building is built. It's built circular. So all the windows line the entire building. These karmics, they thought that they were watching you. They don't even know if they're the ones being watched now. They don't even know they're the ones being oppressed now. Or by who? And some of these karmics, like I said, with the domination spell fuckery, they attracted low vibrational energies to them because they're trying to do that to you. Clarify the whip. What's the whip, please? You got the death card. I told you. Didn't I tell you that some of these karmics are going to be getting put into the same shit that their ancestors got put into, unfortunately? But didn't I talk about this full moon being in Scorpio? Yeah, they feed off of low vibrational energy because that's how they're built. They can't feed off a high vibrational energy like us. We're built completely differently. It's like the pig energy. It's like somebody who eats a whole bunch of pigs and a pig and beef and shit like that versus somebody who eats clean. A whole different type of body chemistry as well too. These karmics are realizing that you guys are not the same person. It's apples and oranges. Shit, it's not even apples and oranges because you're not even a fruit that can be found on this planet. You play with something completely different. And the way that this fruit works, it's okay, if you're a good person and you eat this fruit, I'm going to nourish you and I'm going to transform you. If you're a bad person and you try to eat me, I'm going to fucking poison you. These karmics are learning how you operate with this venomous snake here. Eating apples. Look, Venus fruit. Yes. Venus fruit. Apples are Venus fruit. Oh, look at my neighbor. She is so cute, the little dog. She's a Gemini. Then you got the death card right here with the whip. I'm gonna tell you right now, some of these karmics are about to get harsh news, but I'm gonna say another thing here too. This is how the Most High could deal with some of these karmics. Some of them really living the earth with this whip, harsh, because the whip is all about harsh experiences and information and things like that. Harsh, yeah. It's not going to be pretty for a lot of these karmics, but that's what they brought to themselves. That's what I'm saying. Some of them may even commit suicide because they don't want to deal with what they conjure. Stay your ass right here. What's the compass, please? Clarify the compass. Five of Swords. I'm telling you. Like I said, they don't even know. With the Five of Swords in the start, like I said, these karmics were coming up against you, not even realizing it was your time to shine. With the Five of Swords, some of these karmics, they sabotage themselves completely because, like I said, with the astrology, the star card is astrology. Look at that. That's the constellation of Aquarius. That's why I picked up this deck. These karmics are fucking clones, and they were trying to come after Obi-Wan Kenobi. I don't know if that's how Star Wars works. I feel like that's how it is. Okay, anyways. These karmics were trying to come through and attack you and do all this low vibration fuckery, this Darth Vader, I am your father, but you're not my motherfucking father, you're my son. These karmics are realizing that you're head honcho. They create you by trying to play with you, they figured out that you're the top, you're the highest of the high. No, not you. You're not my father. Obi-Wan on some Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader shit. It ain't to be like that. You're not controlling me. You didn't make me. You don't got nothing over here that you're about to have any power over. Some of these masculines and karmics these karmics and these are learning. Family, friends, all that type of stuff. They're learning that you're a star with this compass right here. And then you have internal guidance from the Most High because there's this Six of Swords out here, which is divine guidance as well. I can't believe we've been going for 30 minutes. It doesn't feel like that. What is the well? Clarify the well resources. You got the Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, you guys are going to be moving up into Queen of Pentacles, King of Pentacles status, financially secure and things like that because the ancestors are holding your victory. They're holding your back. Like this karmic is not touching shit. She's not slowing down nothing. I'm telling you what's going to happen right now is she's going to put you up in a position where you're going to rock out like hella much all at once. Watch. It's like you strike fucking gold or a gold mine or something like that. But with this, also with this infinite wealth, this could also be Queen of Pentacles also coming up in reverse. These cards are going to be poor hustling, hoeing, doing all kinds of low vibrating shit just to get money, stealing, lying, all types of stuff like that. Because the Queen of Pentacles is also a woman who's a sociopath when it comes to money. In the reverse, yeah, Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups in the Strength card. Look, because with the Seven of Cups in the Strength card, all the illusions and spell work and shit like that they were doing created a blockage and a strength on their finances. On their income. Didn't I tell you that the Most High all at once is going to take away everything that they thought they had to have power over you or to terrorize people and shit like that? That's why you got judgment right here. Yeah, and didn't I tell you some of these karmics, because of what they were doing, they're about to deal with the justice system or some type of other fuckery, CPS, losing their job, all that stuff. For playing with you, and you see the gavel right there, judgment has been spoken. They're losing all their resources that they used to play, and that's how the Most High is going to have it. Some of these karmics were doing all kinds of money magic on you, playing games, trying to restrict you or slow you down. It's going to end up backfiring at the worst time fucking possible. And they're going to wish that they had it. What's the Tower? This is crazy. What's the Tower, please? You got the Ten of Wands. Wasn't I just talking about the Ten of Wands? And then there you go, you Divine Masculine, King of Pentacles, and there's Queen of Pentacles right there, counterparts. Yeah, you want to know another thing here too? This Panopticon energy, this full moon, because this full moon is a strawberry moon, and the strawberry moon is all about like calling in the love that you want and things like that, and feelings being illuminated and acted upon. A lot of these karmics are using this moon for to do binding spells and spell work on these masculines or these feminines to get how it resonates, because you know there's that shit too, and there's also like same-sex relationships and things like that. A lot of these people are going out doing this type of these spell works with this moon right now, and it's going to end up in the Tower because the Ten of Wands is Sagittarius energy. So, and then you got the moon right here. You got the moon right here. Yes. What's going to end up happening, like the Pharaoh with the magicians, that magic is going to backfire on them, and it's going to not work. Some of these karmics were fucking banking on this entire moon. They are banking like, fuck, this is going to be the moon that helps me bring it in, and it's not. It's going to be the moon that brings the Tower with whatever spell, whatever ritual, or whatever tactic or game that they were playing. Or whatever entity that was running them that gets stronger with the moon cycles or gets activated with certain moon cycles or transits, that shit is going to be breaking down all the way. What's this? What is the and remember I talked about the moon is in Scorpio. Now you have the Seven of Cups, Scorpionic energy with the Death card. I'm telling you right now, some of these karmics with this Pharaoh and the Magician, some of them may just actually get taken off the planet because the Most High doesn't want no parts of dealing with them. Why the fuck would we want to deal with you? All you do is bring chaos and madness and fuckery to this world. And some of these karmics say that they're helping people with spell work. All they're helping is other karmics. So you're not really doing shit. And all you're doing is attacking divine people who got bigger missions than you. And we're not saying that everyone has a purpose here, but some of these karmics, they defeat their own purpose and they lose their own purpose by trying to focus on yours. So the Most High is like, nah, I'm not going to put you in that position to do this or do that. When you're out here doing this to our profit and people who are in a higher vibration cycle than you, you get to go back to hell and you get to learn your lesson. So that maybe you get an opportunity to come back onto planet Earth to try to work your way up. Some of these karmics forgot the game. This is not the place for you to play. This is the place for you to earn good karma. They're going to learn real soon that whatever purpose that they thought they had is getting taken away. Some of these karmics, I'm going to tell you right now, their place has already been taken. They've already been replaced and shit like that by high vibrational beings because they play too much. Most times, like, you're not even really doing anything and you're lying and you're doing this shit half-assed and you're playing with people. What the fuck is not your purpose? I'm not going to put you in this position. Some of these karmics, that's another thing. They were trying to take your position. They wanted your destiny, your birthright, your purpose, and they couldn't even fucking fulfill it. Imagine a ratchet ass karmic that's doing all this type of shit, worshiping demigods and things like that, trying to come after Supreme Being, or one that walks hand in hand with the Supreme Being. What is the snake? Clarify the snake. What's the Queen of Wands and the snake? Yeah, these karmic females. You got the Tower again, and the Hangman. I told you. Some of these karmics are coming to the major realization that their power is all gone. Because the Queen of Wands is somebody who abuses their sexual power, spiritual power, financial power, raw power. They abuse their children as well, reproduction. They abuse their power in order to obtain in the material world, low vibrational bullshit. Could be a Sagittarius female here, or even Aries, Leo, too, Queen of Wands. All fire signs. But usually, too, the Queen of Wands doesn't have to be a fire sign. Because I'm a fire sign, and I never show up as a Queen of Wands. I'm always the Empress or the Queen of Cups or Pentacles. Or the Queen of Swords on a really fucking good day when I'm having my professional shit. But anyways, you got the Tower and the Hangman right here. Some of these karmics are realizing that they have more power. None. Some of them with the Hangman, altered state of consciousness, You see how he's sitting there like, fuck, am I in the Panopticon or am I the one running the shit? Am I the one being hunted or am I doing the hunting? Some of these karmics, they're confused now because they don't know, okay, I thought that I was supposed to be attacking this person. I had power over them. Some of these karmics don't even know that they're fucking higher than them. And now by playing, it's like, oh, I'm going to go full range in that motherfucking ass. And these karmics cannot match you. They can't. That's why they're like, hey, man, like, fuck. Oh, why did I do that? 10 of Wands right here. Yeah, because these karmics are realizing just who they step with. And that's what I'm saying. Now they're realizing that they're not the hunter, they're the hunted. And they're being hunted in the spiritual realm. They're being hunted with the hermit here. Some of them are being investigated. Some of them got other karmics that there are other people that they're playing with on their head, looking for them in their hometowns and cities and shit like that. Some of them, like I said, they got family members and other friends and coworkers and people that they owe money on their head for shit like that. They're starting to realize this. I wasn't going after that person. I wasn't doing anything to them. I didn't even affect them. The whole time I was just putting myself in a position to get hunted. I was digging myself a hole. I was putting myself into the center of the Panopticon. Now I don't know if I'm being watched or if I'm not being watched. Look, because that's the whole concept of Panopticon. When the guard is going around, you don't know if they're being watched or not being watched. Because the architecture of building. These karmics, like I said, they constructed something with this field energy here, with this building. The Panopticon. They constructed, because you see that round structure on the top, that would kind of be like the Panopticon, right? And then, of course, it's hollow in the middle with all the windows like surrounding the outside, and then a tower in the middle where all the prisoners and shit like that stay. These karmics didn't even know that they built the Panopticon for themselves. They built the tower because the Panopticon is a tower. Look, this is crazy. Their power is gone, you guys. They're stuck in the Panopticon. That's how the Most High wanted it. The Most High wanted them to end up in a position where they can't even fight. They can't even defend themselves. They can't fight off the magic. They can't fight off the enemies that they conjured for themselves. They can't lie. They can't steal anymore. With all that shit, all that gift to gab, all that is done. Their mask has come off too. All that I know how to manipulate and be a sociopath and get shit to go my way, that's done. That shit is done. Those glamour spells with the Seven of Cups is completely broken. People have no want no parts. People see right through it. The Most High sees right through it because they're worshiping demigods. Yeah, look at the sneaky fox. Yep, done with the Nine of Wands. All their plots and plans, repeated plots and plans have been exposed. No more Pharaoh and the magicians. They've lost their power. Now, like I said, their water has turned to blood. Their crops have imploded. There's famines across the land. There's lotus and pest infestations. It's done for these karmics. All right, you guys, that's what I have for you. I hope you so enjoyed this. Once again, my name is Arjuna, aka Professional High Priestess. Have a good day. Bye.